Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for clicking on this video. I dedicate this video to the one I really respect, Mem Nimatuniayah SEMSI AKT as the final project methodology lecture, and all the audience who I really love. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Nailis Salsabila from Diploma 3 Accounting Study Program at Semarang State Polytechnic. I will present the result of the final project proposal entitled Preparation of Cash Flow Statement at XXX Cooperative in 2023. Okay, here there are 5 topics that I will explain in this presentation. The first is background, the second is formulation of the problem, the third is research purpose and benefits, the fourth is literature review, and the last is research method. The first is the background. The current development of the economic system in Indonesia cannot be separated from the role of cooperatives as one of the foundation of the people's economy. Cooperatives were formed with the aim of realizing prosperity and helping relieve the economy of all the members. A cooperative is a business entity that has an important role in advancing the economy of the Indonesian people. The items in the financial statement that are the most liquid and require special control and management are cash and cash equivalents, which are present in the cash flow statement. Therefore, every cooperative is required to make financial reports as the management's responsibility to its members to provide information on the financial position for a certain period. The cash flow report is useful for evaluating changes in net asset and financial structure as an indicator of the amount of cash flow in the future, to assess the cooperative's ability to generate cash and cash equivalents. During its operation, Cooperative XXX has not prepared a cash flow report. Apart from that, Cooperative XXX has not analyzed its cash flow performance, which can be known through the cash flow report. Considering the importance of cash flow reports for cooperatives and the SAK ETAP statement regarding the presentation of complete financial reports, the author is interested in assisting Cooperative XXX in preparing cash flow reports so that cooperative management can later find out the cooperative's financial performance in generating cash and cash equivalents. Therefore, here the author will discuss how to prepare a cash flow report for Cooperative XXX using the direct method in 2023, as well as how to calculate the free cash flow. The second is formulation of the problem. First, how to prepare a cash flow report at XXX Cooperative in 2023, and 2, how to calculate free cash flow for XXX Cooperative in 2023. Next, the third is research purpose and benefits. For research and purpose themselves, including first, prepare cash flow report for XXX Cooperative using the direct method in 2023, and second, calculating free cash flow at XXX Cooperative in 2023. Next, benefits. The benefits for Cooperative XXX can be used as new consideration for Cooperative XXX in preparing cash flow reports for the coming period. The benefit for Semarang State Polytechnic can be used as additional information and reference at the Semarang State Polytechnic Library and for students who want to learn about preparing cash flow reports. And the benefit for writers, the final assignment can be used as means to increase insight, knowledge, and experience for the writer, especially regarding the preparation of cash flow reports, and be used as a graduation requirement. The fourth is literature review. In this case, I divide it into 4 subchapters, including the first is cooperative, second is financial reports, third is cash flow statement, and the last is cash flow statement analysis. The first is cooperative. This subchapter contains definition, purpose, principles, types, and cooperative membership. Cooperative is a business entity consisting of individuals or cooperative legal entities that base its activities on cooperative principles, as well as being a people's economic movement based on the principle of kinship. Number 2. Financial statements. The subchapters contain definition, purpose, and components of financial statements. Financial statements are a structured presentation of the financial position and performance of an entity. The purpose of financial statement is as a source of information regarding reports of financial position, financial performance, and entity cash flow, which are used by report users as material for consideration and decision making. The components of financial statements consist of a balance sheet, profit and loss statement, statement of changes in equity, cash flow statement, and notes to financial statements. Number 3. Cash flow statement. Cash flow presents information on historical changes in entities' cash and cash equivalents, which separately shows changes that occur during one period for operating, investing, and financing activities. The cash flow statement reports cash receipts, cash payments, and net changes in cash obtained from a company's operating, investing, and financing activities during a period. The main purpose of a cash flow statement is to provide relevant information about cash receipts and payments from a company during a period. There are two methods used to calculate and report the amount of net cash flow from operating activities, namely the direct method and the indirect method. The difference between the direct method and the indirect method lies in the operational activities. In the direct method, operating activities are grouped into various categories and broken down into two activities, namely cash inflow and cash outflow. Meanwhile, the indirect method does not describe cash inflows and outflows, so the direct method chosen in preparing the cash flow report in this final project is to be able to describe cash inflow and outflows. Next, number 4, cash flow statement analysis. Cash flow analysis is carried out to determine a company's ability to pay off its obligations when they fall due, distribute dividends, and determine the phase of business development, which can be used for decision-making for interested users. Analysis of cash flow statement ratios, according to Kizo et al., consists of liquidity ratios and flexibility ratios. Free cash flow is the amount of discretionary cash flow that a company has. A company can use this cash flow to purchase additional investment, pay off its debt, purchase treasury stock, or simply to increase liquidity. And the last is research method. Data classification is divided into two types, namely based on its nature and based on its source. Based on its nature, data types are grouped into two types, namely, first, quantitative data. The quantitative data used in preparing this financial assignment is the comparative balance sheet as of 31st December 2023 and 2022, the business results calculation report or profit and loss report for the period ending 31st December 2023, and selected transaction data for 2023 at cooperative XXX. And second is qualitative data. The qualitative data that will be used in preparing this financial assignment is the history of the founding of the XXX cooperative, the vision and mission, and the organizational structure of the XXX cooperative. Next, the types of data. Based on the source are grouped into two types. The first is primary data. The primary data used is through direct interviews with XXX cooperative in the form of company's profile and data explaining the financial reports. And the second is secondary data. Secondary data used is general information on cooperatives, comparative balance sheet as of 31st December 2023 and 2022, business results calculation report for the period ending 31st December 2023, and selected transaction data for 2023 on cooperative XXX. There are two data collection methods. First is the interview. The data collection method is carried out by asking questions directly to the resource person regarding the general description of the XXX cooperative and the accounting section to obtain information regarding transaction in 2023. Second is documentation. This data collection method is carried out by borrowing documents related to the preparation of cash flow reports. There are two methods for writing data. The first is the descriptive method. This method is used to explain the general description of the XXX cooperative, namely the history of the cooperative's founding, main objectives, membership, capital, organization, as well as other description of the XXX cooperative. Second is the exposition method. This method is used to analyze the balance sheet as of 31st December 2023 and analyze the steps for preparing the 2023 cash flow report for XXX cooperative. Next is writing system. First is introduction. This chapter explains the background, problem formulation, objectives, and benefits of writing a final assignment, as well as the systematics of writing a final assignment. Second is literature review. This chapter explains the meaning and objectives of cooperatives, the meaning and objectives of financial reports, the meaning of cash flow reports, the meaning of cash and cash equivalents, the purpose and benefits of cash flow reports, steps in preparing cash flow reports, format for preparing cash flow reports, direct method, cash flow report ratio analysis, understanding free cash flow, and how to calculate free cash flow. Third is research method. This chapter explains the meaning of research methodology, data classification, data collection methods, data processing methods, and data writing methods. Fourth is result and discussion. This chapter explains the general description of the XXX cooperative, which includes the history of the cooperative's founding, vision and mission, cooperative business goals, and organizational structure, as well as the main discussion that describe the preparation of 2023 cash flow report for the XXX cooperative using the direct method and cash flow calculation free. And the last is closing. This chapter contains conclusion drawn from the results of the discussion and suggestion for companies that can be submitted based on the discussion of the problems described in the previous chapters. Next, this is my schedule in this research. First, title submission and consultation for 2 weeks, submission of final project proposal for 2 weeks, preparation, consultation, and revision of Chapter 1, 2, and 3 for 2 weeks, preparation, consultation, and revision of Chapter 4 for 2 weeks, preparation, consultation, and revision of Chapter 5 for 2 weeks, drafting for 2 weeks, and article writing for 1 week. Okay, that's what I can convey to you on this occasion. I apologize if there are any mistakes. I hope my explanation can be useful for all of you. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.